Hi, I'm Alejandro from Formula TV, Spain. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
How's it going?
Great. Season one felt really refreshing because it was different from everything that was on TV. And since then, you've gained a really dedicated fan base. So in season two, you had the challenge to both live up to the expectations and subvert them. So how was it to deal with all that pressure?
Good question.
Fun. I love pressure.
Just apply pressure to Ben.
I mean, it's a totally different pressure in terms of, pressure is a relative term, when you're making something creative, right? I think pressure is like, being an ER doctor or something like that is like real pressure. But we feel it creatively for sure. The first season, I remember having a moment when we'd finished the whole season and then thinking like, oh, wait a minute. I hope that people actually even like this could just be something that people don't like at all, or it could be something people like. So then when we were lucky enough to have people like it, it is a different kind of feeling where you want to live up to this, expectation, but it's hard to know exactly what the expectation is. So it kind of sends you back to your instincts of like, okay, well, what is it that I like about the show? What feels exciting to me? I think as an audience, I'd want to see, growth and somehow not have it try to do the same thing. And I felt like that was a really important part of what we tried to do in the second season was to not sort of, tread water, but try to like expand our horizons a little bit.
Yeah, I grew up in the 80s when there were lots of sequels, just seemed to just be multiplying everywhere. And so I love sequels. And, but when you really kind of get down to it, the things that the ingredients that make a successful sequel are when they expand upon the world rather than just repeating the things that worked the first time, kind of take the world and the characters and allow them to grow. And so I think that was something we were all looking at and hoping for.
Yeah, and about that growth and that expansion in season one, we mainly saw the outside world through Mark's eyes, but in season two, everything expands in that sense. We get to see different perspectives. So how has the show's universe evolved in this season?
I think the expansion of the outside world is, probably the most challenging thing in the show because we always wanted in the first season for the outside world to feel as sort of, strange and stark and kind of weird in its own way as the inside world, except for these little pockets of warmth and humanity and, in Mark's relationship with his sister. But in season two, it was, all of a sudden there's more characters that we had to deal with in terms of the innies having experienced their outie life. We felt like we needed to continue those stories. So it was a fun challenge to try to figure out how to tell those stories and both visually and in terms of, the sort of atmosphere of the world. And that was fun and kind of, again, like kind of new territory that it's good to sort of like, I think, put yourself in an uncomfortable place creatively when you're doing something like this.
Yeah. And about that weirdness of the show, I think that the connective tissue of everything, of all the mysteries and all the characters, is the tone, this mix of drama and thriller with a peculiar sense of humor. So what do you like the most as a director and as an actor about that unique tone that the show has?
I love that we are able to try to do that and kind of continually try to sort of, in the second season, even, push the bounds of that a little bit more and to see. And that's, it's that thing of, okay, how much can the show hold? We were going off of instinct in the first season, and we kind of were doing it in the second season too. Because as I said, I don't think you can just repeat what you did in the first season. Yeah. But tonally, it's always sort of been clear to me the things that are important in the show are, it's the grounded sort of element of the emotional life of the characters, and that has to be real. And we're lucky to have these great actors who fill even the most absurd or challenging situations to make real. They fill it with this, honesty and this reality that gives it authenticity, I think.
Yeah, and as an actor, there, after a while of working on the show, I came to to realize that there are no simple scenes on Severance, and something that even feels like it's a pretty straightforward scene in one way or the other. There's always complexity to it. There's always a few different ways of looking at it, and a few different things going on. And that is really exciting to me, and always so much fun, and always challenging. And I love it.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Right.
And congrats for the show, and have a really nice day.